Let's talk about the art of detachment on today's low talk or low chat. It's something that I have recently been having to practice a lot, but it's something that in the last year and a half to 2 years of my life has completely transformed my life in ways that I truly cannot describe. And I'm hoping that in this video, it gives you an idea of just how powerful this concept of detaching yourself from the outcome and how that will literally change your entire fucking life. So let's just start with like basics here. Detaching from the outcome means that regardless of whatever happens, like good, bad, negative, positive, that you are not going to be eager for a certain outcome or have it negatively impact you, like have this really high or low when something happens. It's your ability to be neutral no matter what and to create more consistency in your life. I have found that growing up until I was about 18 years old, I was incredibly dysregulated as a human being. I had a lot of childhood trauma that impacted how I navigated through the world. I was angry. I was pessimistic. I had a lot of rage. I struggled fitting in. I had struggled making friends. I struggled to connect with people. And I had a lot of pent up resentment inside of me that I just didn't know how to like properly articulate and express. And because of that, I grew up and continued as a young adult to just always like be prepared for the worst. I was always waiting for the second shoe to drop. I was always knowing that like I wasn't meant to have something good. I wasn't meant to make a lot of money. I wasn't going to have this extravagant life. Like those things weren't even in my scope. I had no idea that I would be where I am today based off of the former versions of myself. Like not in a million fucking years. And seeing myself, like looking back in retrospect, it wasn't my fault that I grew up this way and had this certain childhood and experienced the things that I did. But as a young adult, it's now my responsibility to do something about it. And I was tired of everyone else around me getting all the things. Like everyone else would get the awards or get chosen, or they were making a lot of money. They were super successful. They got, the guy or the girl. It just seemed like things were happening easier for other people. And I realized over time that was never really the case anyway. Like I don't believe that now. But because I was vibrating at such a low frequency, like I was putting out some of the worst energy, that's exactly what I was attracting back into my life. And that's a scary thing about energetics, right? Like I'm not here to get all woo-woo on you or to like, for you guys to be like, low, like what kind of shit are you into? But it really is like the law of energetics. It's the law of attraction. It's the energy you put out is what you do get in return. And again, let's just pretend like you don't believe in any of this shit. That's fine. But if believing this, like maybe changed the trajectory of your life, would you try it? Like would you just be like, you know what, fuck it, like I have nothing to lose, let me just like try to be positive. And it's not like like positive toxicity where you're just like everything is fine, everything is good. Like I don't believe in that at all either. But I just knew that what I was doing wasn't working. Like every day I woke up was a drag. Everything I did was a drag. I hated my life. I hated my partners at the time. I hated myself. I hated my career. I hated how people viewed me. I just hated everything. Like I just felt like nothing was ever going my way. And I don't want to say like there was a moment I woke up and I was like, wow, my life needs to be different. But I think having my business taught me a lot about how life actually works, that you have to make decisions before you know how they're going to turn out. You have to make choices before you have the confidence to do it. You have to actually do the thing before you feel ready to do it. These were all things I was super scared to do, and your ego gets in the way, right? Like some of you guys who are watching this right now still might be like, well, like I don't really have like that big of a problem, or like it's really not that deep. Like it is, and like whatever mask you're wearing right now, whatever facade you're putting up right now to like protect your ego, it's only hurting you at the end of the day. And I was that person. Like this is coming from someone who truly was that person. And every day I'm actively working on like making sure that that person doesn't come back to light. Like, but she wasn't great. And again, it wasn't necessarily my fault where I started in the hands, the cards that I was dealt, the hand that I was dealt, but it was my responsibility to do something about it. And I'm sharing like this backstory on my life because I, back then, used to practice a form of detachment that wasn't great. Like I almost sort of dissociated. I just expected everything to go wrong all the time. So I just didn't care. I didn't put as much effort in. I was like, oh, it's not going to work out anyway. Like, and so because of that, it changed my actions. Like I wouldn't do the extra things. I wouldn't try the things. I wouldn't embarrass myself. I wouldn't have done half the shit that I'm doing right now, filming this video. I wouldn't have ever done anything like this because my ego was too big. I was too scared. I was trying to protect myself. And I practiced the art of detachment in the worst way, like just being completely dissociated from anything, not really caring. The power of detachment means that I don't know if you guys practice or have heard about like stoicism, but I read the Daily Stoic every day, and I'm really big on practicing stoicism, not to an extreme, but to a moderate amount. And the practice of stoicism, just to keep this simple and in my definition, is that nothing is ever good, nothing is bad, it just simply is. And stoicism is the practice of being present. It's about being in your body. It's about literally experiencing and being in the moment at the time. And right now, like I'm in Bali, I'm filming this video. I'm present with you here, hearing the water. You guys can't hear it, but like hearing the pool water, because I'm sitting outside at a little pool, hearing the pool water just like, ripple, and the cars and the honking and the construction nearby and like the sun on my skin and the air in my lungs, like all of that. And so stoicism is about this idea of like nothing is good, nothing is bad, meaning like anything that happens today was meant to happen. It was never bad. Like, oh, maybe I ordered a scooter ride to the gym and the scooter like didn't show up. Maybe I wasn't supposed to get on that scooter because it was going to crash. Or maybe it needed to wait a few extra more minutes because I need to work on my patience anyway. So it's looking at situations that could feel negative or positive or good or bad, and looking at those and simply accepting them as they are. It just is. It's not bad. It's not good. It just is what it was meant to be. So the art of detachment and how that like coincides with stoicism is the ability to not be so consumed with trying to force or to manipulate or to create circumstances for yourself. In my life, every time I've tried to force a situation to happen or to work, like I think about a relationship that you're just like forcing to work. Like, I just want them to love me. I just want them to see me. Like all of that forcing that you're doing, it's not actually helping you. It's not helping them. It's not helping the circumstance. And whatever is going to be anyway. So the more you're forcing something, you might actually be missing out on a blessing. Like that person may not be the person for you. It might be someone else. And you forcing something because your ego gets in the way, or because you're scared to be alone, or it's triggering an abandoned wound issue for you, or a chosen, wound for you, or whatever. You might be missing out on the person that you're supposed to be with, but you're so adamant about protecting your ego, protecting yourself, not being lonely, and you make the decisions for yourself based off of that. And we get so caught up on the outcome of things instead of trying to be, again, as present and practicing this idea of stoicism, like just knowing that it's not good or bad, it just simply is. And it doesn't mean that you just accept all your fate, right? Like, oh, my life is not great. I wish I was making more money. Well, Lo said, like, whatever, is meant to be is meant to be. So, like, the money will come. No, like, God, the universe helps those that help themselves. Okay, so you need to be putting in the action and the steps to do it. But the art of detachment is not just seen in sales, which is why I'm kind of talking on it on a conceptual level. It's in every area of your life where It's removing yourself and your expectations of a result, the outcome of something, and just completely removing it, stripping it, and just being present for whatever is being shown to you and accepting of that. Now, how this directly correlates to sales is that in the art of detachment, it's the reason why I've closed so many calls. It's the reason why I've made as much money as I've made. Is because when I'm on a call with someone and I'm practicing detachment from the outcome, meaning I don't give a fuck if they buy from me or if they don't buy from me. I know that like I'm there and I'm in service, because ultimately sales is the best form of service. And if you can get into sales and onto sales calls with the idea that you are serving instead of selling, you will close way more sales calls, because what you're doing is you're prioritizing what this person needs and you're detaching yourself from the outcome of them purchasing or not purchasing. Because people can tell that. They can feel it energetically, tone wise, gesture wise, like it's all gonna just bleh, it's gonna bleed out. It's gonna be like you're trying to act all cool, but deep down inside you're like, fuck, I need this sale. Like everyone knows that you're chasing the fucking sale, and it's icky and it's gross and it's uncomfortable. What it's also doing is it's not teaching you as a human how to be your highest self. Because if you are chasing sales, like you're chasing money, you're chasing closes, you are not evolving to the best version of yourself. The best version of yourself closes deals without effort, without even trying, without even thinking twice, without having to use sales slimy, sick, gross tactics. I don't even do sales calls using sales frameworks anymore. I literally get on calls with people and I just talk to them, because I don't give a flying fuck if they purchase or if they don't purchase. And they know that. They actually know that. So imagine when you get on a call with someone and you're practicing the art of detachment, it changes everything. It changes your language. When you get on that call, it changes your language, it changes your energy. You're not on the call like, okay, I gotta perform, I gotta do performative sales here. Okay, like, hey, yeah, how's your week been so far? Okay, cool, and where are you located? Okay, I wanna go ahead and dive right in. You got something to take some notes with? Like, ew, right? But if I'm on a call with someone, I'm like, hey, how's your week been? And the person tells me that their week's been shitty, I'm not gonna be like, okay, cool, well, like, you got something to take some notes, we can dive right in. That right there tells me that you're so focused on the outcome of the call that you want to follow the script perfectly and make sure that you get the sale. No. Instead, I'm just going to be like, hey, I'm sorry you had a really tough week. I'm hoping that this call makes it better. Where is it that you're calling from exactly? Or I'm sorry you've had a tough week. I'm hoping that this call can help us turn it around, or something that we can do today can brighten the day for you, brighten the week for you. This is literally being so present, practicing stoicism, like being present, not being caught up in what's good or what's bad. It just simply is, and just being locked in that you're showing up for that person. That is service. And so it starts with your initial tone, it starts with your initial energy, and then it changes with the words you use. Like when I'm practicing detached sales, when I go through my agenda, I'm not going to say something like, yeah, my goal for today's call is to learn more about where you're at, where you'd like to be. Ultimately, if we feel like there's alignment, we'll go ahead and talk about investment and get you onboarded. Sound good? Great. Like, I'm not just following a lame script. I'm going to change my agenda so that this person understands that I'm literally here on this call to help you make an informed and educated decision. And if it happens to not be with me and my company, or me and the team, the company I'm working with, then that's okay. And I want them to hear that, I want them to feel that, and I want them to see that. So my agenda would sound something like this. Listen, Stephanie, my goal for today's call is pretty simple. I just got off the phone with Lo. She was telling me a lot about how you're struggling with transitioning into high ticket sales. We know it's a really scary thing. We've worked with a lot of people who have been trying to do this. And so my goal for this call is just to hear more about where you're at in your process, to see if it does make sense for you and what that trajectory would look like for you over the next 6 months if we do decide that this is the right step. If we do not decide it's a good step or it's not the right move for you right now, then I will at least give you some value or point you in a direction to maybe help you figure out what it is you're trying to do. But if we do feel like it's a really good fit and we both feel super aligned, then we will talk about the exact approach that we would take to help you transition fully. We'll discuss investment, and then we'll hopefully get you onboarded if it makes sense. Does that sound fair? So I know that was a little bit wordy, but I just wanted to show you energetically how that felt, how it sounded, and then the words I chose to use so that Stephanie knows that I genuinely want to help her make the right choice for herself, that it doesn't make sense for her to join our program if she's not in the right place. And I think right now in the online space and the climate you see online with selling, is everyone's just so focused on the monetary piece, like making money, which is important, right? Like making money and all those sort of things, but they're not teaching you the human behavior and the psychology behind sales in the first place. The art of detachment doesn't just happen in sales. It might be where you start to utilize it, but it's really something that should bleed into your entire life, because the quality of your life will increase the more you can stop hoping and wishing that the results are something that maybe they're not meant to be. Life is always going to present you things, not always in the way that in which you expect them to be. So sometimes you might miss out on your blessings if you are so caught up on forcing what you think things are supposed to look like or how things are supposed to be for you, and instead just being open to receiving the blessings that you know you do deserve, because maybe your eyes were so fixated on this one thing, this one goal that you thought you had to have, and it had to look a certain way and it had to be exactly like this, that you miss the thing that was supposed to be for you in the first place. So that's my little take on the art of detachment, how I use it in my personal life, how I use it in sales. I hope this was valuable for you. And if it was, I'd love for you to leave a comment. I'd love for you to like. I'd love for you to share this. And I'd love for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel I'm trying to build. You guys said you liked the last video I did, so I am curious to get feedback to see if you guys enjoyed this one as well. So I hope this found you well. And as I always say, you're welcome, and happy closing.